What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Grant's Curb Appeal Lawn Care. And if this is your first time tuning in to a video, let me do a quick introduction of myself. My name is Simon. I'm here down in South Carolina, and pretty much I mow lawns and I do some junk removal on the side. And today, what I'm going to do is share a few tips, not in a particular order, that will help you out along the way. With this being my 6th year in business, these things taught me a lot of valuable lessons, and maybe they will spark some interest in you and get your brain thinking a little bit deeper when it comes to making a big decision, rather to go into business for yourself and leave your full-time job and see whether things will work out in your favor. So sit back. I'm going to do a little bit of hard work. This video is recorded in real time. Didn't take me much time at all to do this job. And this is just a little small snippet of what you may get into jumping into on this part of the video, junk removal. So stay tuned. Here we go. So what does it want to look like being an entrepreneur, working for yourself? You know, you've got tired of going and being an employee, and you want to go out and open up your own gig. Here's some things to keep in mind that you're still going to have to face on a daily basis. Even though you're working for yourself, these are going to be some critical factors that you face. Number one, the people that you deal with, that you have as customers and clients throughout your business life, hey, they can make or also break you when working for yourself. You have, in my opinion, 3 categories of people. You have your A1 clients, you have your B clients, and you have your F clients. Notice I skipped C and D. A clients, no issues. You do your job, you get paid, you're going on to the next gig. Your B clients are going to be the ones that you kind of have interactions with. You know, they may throw a variable or 2 here or there on you out of the blue that you may just be like, I don't know whether if I want to keep them on schedule or part ways with them, etc. And then you have your F clients, you know, the ones that you give time and time again, chance after chance, and eventually you cut them off the list. Those are some things to keep in mind. You're still going to be dealing with the public. You're still going to have expectations on your shoulder coming from all of your clients. So the best thing to do when going into business is study what you're going to get into. Watch, as I've said on a lot of videos on here, watch YouTube. A lot of people who have been in this game a little bit longer than the next person share a lot of information on how and what to do when choosing clients and keeping them on your roster. So do that homework. Make sure you realize that people are going to be something you have to deal with daily. And that brings me to my next point, scheduling. When you get a bunch of clients, you're going to have to make sure you're good with scheduling time. If you right now have issues with time management and just keeping a steady schedule, you might want to get yourself a little bit more disciplined, because I'm going to tell you right now, once you get out here, and I'll speak on the lawn mowing side first. Once you get out here, and it starts off cool in the spring months, but once you get in the summertime and it's really hot and the heat's beating down on your neck, and you didn't take a good time to set a good schedule on what time of the morning to get out of the house, get loaded up, and get to your first property, you're going to be caught out here in these elements, and it's going to make you second guess things. So your scheduling and how you set up your jobs is one of your number 1 key factors to think about once you get ready to go into business for yourself. So stay tuned. I've got a few more tips before I wrap this video up. let's jump back into it. The next thing that comes to mind is your equipment. When you get out here and you start doing this thing called taking care of lawns, lawn care, landscaping, and whatever, you need to make sure you have the proper equipment. For one, you need to make sure the equipment is affordable in the beginning. You don't want to go out and buy the extreme, most costly lawnmower and you only have 5 clients. You don't want to go out here and also get a push mower and have 50 clients with half acre to an acre lot. That's a lot of work for just a push mower. So what I'm saying, make sure you get the equipment that suits the type of properties that you're going to get. You need to make sure what you get doesn't break you in the beginning, but it also needs to make you some type of profit so you can have growth as time goes by. And that brings me to the next subject, which is always a touchy subject, but it's one that shows a lot of opinions, and that's your pricing. You can set your prices however you want to set them. Don't let everybody say start XYZ amount of dollars. You need to figure out your happy median and go with it. And as time go by, you can choose to increase that price to better sustain the needs that come with your business. And just realize this, that the better you learn pricing and study the craft that you're bringing to these properties, by the time you really get deep into the game, you're going to be able to spit prices out without any hesitation, without feeling bad about it, and just realize that what you're selling is for your lifestyle, for your living, for your family. You're not out here trying to be friends with the Mr. or the Mrs. of the properties that you're taking care of, because nowadays people are looking for the cheapest route. That's just the bottom line. You can go with Great Value brand, or you can go with a name brand, Lay's potato chips. I'll just throw those two out there. But people are looking for the cheaper route, especially when it comes to the lawn care game. There are people out there who don't care, chuck in a truck, as a lot of people call them. They go out, run across the yard, take off. That's all they're worried about. But a lot of people in lawn care, they are very particular about the details that they bring to properties, and that detail that they offer to properties is how a lot of people also set their prices. I know a lot of areas, they're big on making stripes in the yard. A lot of areas are super, deep on making sure that the edges are crispy. And then you got some people who just don't care. So keeping that in mind, and that makes me come to the expectations from yourself and from your customers. Customers are going to expect you to come out and do the job. They're not expecting you to say, I can't make it out this week because of this. I can't come out this week because of that. A lot of times, once you come up with a lot of excuses as to why you can't come out and do a property, you're probably going to end up not having that property again, and another lawn care company is going to come out and take care of it, and that's going to be income that you're losing. So just make sure that you have expectations from your customers, and realize that your customer are going to have expectations from you. They're going to make sure, hopefully, that you're coming out and doing a decent job on their yard and not half-stepping. That if they're paying you for a good quality of work, you're bringing it. So just how you're going to have expectations that your customers, for example, pay you on time, you're going to also want you to show up on time. Now, you can't control, Mother Nature, and, if you get sick or break down, some of that stuff you can't really control. But if things are running in tip-top shape and you just have gotten to the point where you're just in a burnout stage and you just don't feel like getting up and going and taking care of properties, day after day, like I said, you're running to that summertime heat and it makes you second guess things. That's going to put a bad name out there for you, because word of mouth is how a lot of people get lawn care jobs. So keep that in mind. Your expectations from your customers, and your customer is going to have expectations from you as a provider. So don't go half-stepping and thinking that it won't get brought to the attention, because people talk. People will really drag your name out there if you're doing a horrible job, because Nobody wants somebody to come out and be half stepping on any job, that they're paying for a service for. So keep that in mind. And we're gonna wrap this video up here in just a second. Stick around just a little bit longer. Let's wrap this video up. A couple of things that I'm gonna throw out here that you need to keep in mind that'll help you out is your route. Your route will make or break you. I'm not gonna dig too deep into it because I know the video is about to wrap up soon. I'll talk about that maybe in another video. But route is definitely an important step in gaining clients, especially in lawn care. On the junk removal side, you can always kind of sort of expect to not be in the same area doing junk removal, because junk removal is not something that is just every household. It just comes with the territory, where if you advertise it, you may get a phone call, email, etc. So your route is one of your most important things in lawn mowing service. Your target area is the number 2 most important thing. That falls under route. If you want to keep your route tight and consolidated and not traveling from here to there, taking 25 and 30 minutes to get from one property to the next, work hard in a certain area to get all of your customers in a tight area. That way you're not spending too much time behind the windshield, but you're out on these properties turning dust and cutting grass and making an income. And to advertise for yourself, let's just say, like I said, this is your first year. Once you start doing work, take some before and after pictures of what you've done. If you go to a horrible yard and you turn it over into a beautiful transformation, take some pictures, post it, share it. People will see that and say, okay, that person knows what they're doing. That will get you some work and that will get you some income. And the last thing, stick to the basics. Don't do something you're not familiar with. Make sure you start at your roots and then work your way up. Don't bite off more than you can chew in the beginning and get yourself into a hole you can't quite get out of right away. So I hope this video finds you in time to be motivated, because the 2026 lawn care season is here. It's about to kickstart, and I just hope you're mentally and physically prepared for what you're about to jump into. Thanks for spending some time at Grant's Curb Appeal Lawn Care. I will catch you on the next one. Y'all be safe. Peace.